Bulgaria, firstly, from a political point of view, has been famous with the crypto-friendly attitudes of our governments, and this attitude has been shown in a consistent manner for like the very beginning of the crypto sector here, from the birth of the crypto sector here in Bulgaria.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new episode of the Semoto podcast. Today, full house. We have the Crypto Academy from Bulgaria. We have SV Lawyers and Vesta Consulting. So we're going to cover actually quite a lot. We're going to cover tax, legal, and compliance, anti-money laundering, all on specifically on Bulgaria. So welcome, everyone. Do you want to introduce yourself?
With a pleasure, Marco. First, thank you for the invitation. It's a pleasure to our team to be here with you and with our audience. So, in this format, you are seeing us, the three of us. We are the Crypto Academy. It's a consulting company that was formed 2 years ago in order to provide the very needed training for the crypto sector and education. They were made sometimes for the company, sometimes like common training and education. Me personally, I'm Desislava Spasova. I'm the founder of SV Lawyers. It's a law company with focus on the crypto sector and the energy sector. Sometimes we combine them. We have interesting projects in this regard. And with this, I also can add that I have been consulting the crypto sector for more than 5 years already, closely on a daily basis. Not only companies that originate here in Bulgaria, but also companies that come from abroad. And with this, I think we could handle the micro, so to say, to Marinka, the other lady.
Hello, my name is Marina Bujakova. Originally, I have legal education as well, but I work in the field of the taxes mainly, let's say tax law. Tax optimization is my force and crypto is my passion, so I decided to combine them in order to obtain something beautiful in a professional field. I'm a head of an accounting company with 20 team members, and also I'm the part of this team here. We are colleagues, we work all together, and we combine our knowledge and resources so that we can provide complex service to our mutual clients. And this is very beautiful partnership, I can say. Also, I work closely with the crypto sector and the crypto companies from accounting and tax point of view. Our motto is to hack your taxes so that you can pay less legally than more. And also, criminal mind a little bit.
It's always important, so don't worry about it.
This is in short. My experience in the field is since 2017, 2018, about 7-8 years in crypto field. In taxes, I work all my life.
And last but not least, Nikolai, thanks for joining us.
Hi, my name is Nikolai Hadjiyski. I'm also a lawyer with specialized in energy and crypto sector. For the past 7 years, I've been practicing law, and also I'm the specialist of the group in money laundering, compliance, and fraud. And this is very connected to tax optimization. Let's talk about tax optimization and not tax hacking. So it's my job to make sure that we're not laundering money. Nobody's laundering money, and we're optimizing stuff so the business can be happy.
Thanks so much. Nikolai, we're losing you a little bit sometimes, so I'll ask you if you can try to improve your connection because it's not really clear on my end. But let's move on. So let's dig there's a ton to cover. So why Bulgaria of all the other countries in Europe? What is the landscape in Bulgaria at the moment from a regulatory point of view, tax point of view? So first, give us a bit of an overview on Bulgaria, and then please tell us why the audience should set up in Bulgaria.
Thank you for this question, Marco. If I may start, why Bulgaria? Bulgaria, firstly, from a political point of view, has been famous with the crypto-friendly attitudes of our governments. And this attitude has been shown in a consistent manner for the very beginning of the crypto sector here, from the birth of the crypto sector here in Bulgaria. This political kind of positive environment has been also reflected into the attitude and the behavior of the competent authorities that are empowered to enforce the legal norms here. So that's one. Second, our new regulator, speaking about the implementation of MiCA here in Bulgaria, the Financial Supervision Commission, is headed by a guy who has been recently appointed, Mr. Gulemansky, and he has publicly said that he is very pro-crypto guy. So that's also important. Thirdly, it's very easy to set up a company here in Bulgaria. So you could set up a limited liability company, a Jostal company, for instance, which are the most famous forms of doing business, very easily, very quickly. It could take us literally days in order this to finish, to be finalized. And the costs are very low, maybe the lowest in the whole European Union. From a regulatory point of view, this one in terms of big picture. And the second advantage in terms of the big picture again that I see is the science. The crypto economy is a new science, as we all know, and only a few universities in the European Union, not only, but also in the whole world, are developing this new science. And we have started a master program in crypto economics here in Bulgaria and a bachelor program from this year here in Bulgaria, the University of National and World Economy, where we all teach. And we are also PhD candidates in crypto economics, which is quite new and super fascinating. So you have the academia working strongly with our government and the competent authorities on development of very favorable regulatory landscape here in Bulgaria for the companies. And we also have the attitude of the government that it's very crypto friendly.
Super interesting. Okay, I think we want to dig deeper in a few of those points, but let's move for a second on taxation. Where Bulgaria sits on compared to other jurisdictions across Europe or across the world.
Okay, so if I may say here, we have very favorable tax legislation. We have maybe the lowest possible corporate tax here. It is about 10%. And this is the corporate tax on the corporate profit. Considering, for example, Cyprus, there you have 12.5% corporate tax, except in the situation if you have IP box there, of course. But this is a very tiny possibility. I mean, usually you have higher tax, except if you get into this tiny possibility. Same goes for Malta and, for example, Madeira in Portuguese, where there is low taxation, but only if you get in one very, very, very tiny frame in the legislation. In comparison, the Bulgarian taxation rate is flat for all the businesses, all type of businesses, all type of deals, everything. So doesn't matter if your company is dealing in the crypto sector or is dealing in the production or is dealing in other field like services or etc. You will have 10% corporate tax. Our taxes are flat. They are not progressive. Our administration is not the best possible, but it is much, much better because it is not so much bureaucratical than in other big countries. For example, people are usually no complaint from Italy or from Spain because the administration is quite bureaucratic. In Bulgaria, the case is not so bad. One of the best things is that usually if you break something, because people sometimes don't have intentions, and let's say that mistakes happen. In many other countries like Germany, for example, or Netherlands or Belgium or etc., you have to be very cautious there because usually some breaches maybe put you in a situation to bear criminal responsibility. In Bulgaria, for any little mistakes or bigger mistakes, we bear only administrative liability, and usually the penalties are considered fines or some stuff like this. So we don't go to jail, we don't have some kind of ban to practice profession or in some specific business field or etc., which is quite significant consequences for some businesses usually. In Bulgaria, we don't have this problem. So I can say that the administration and the law and the rules are quite favorable. Also in Bulgaria, despite the fact that the last several years, usually the salaries get up and the insurance levels also move up, I can say that we have still something called maximal insurance level, which is about 200 euros, which is quite low. So it means that if you appoint any personnel, you will pay social security contributions up to this amount. And this is the base. I speak about percentage of this amount. And margin above, let's say this, will be insurance free. So you pay no insurance contributions for it. You pay only taxes, which is a flat tax. Actually, tax on the individual income is also 10%. So yeah, if the business wants to take the profit into the pocket of the owner, then we have additional 5% tax on the dividend. And if you start a company and make the substance here in Bulgaria, like management, like headquarter, like team, which is appointed in this company, I can guarantee you very, very favorable taxation regime upon this legal entity. And yeah,
just to recap, you mentioned 10% on corporate and you mentioned 5 on dividend, or is 10 on individual plus 5 on dividend?
No. Five is only tax on the dividend. Meaning, if I'm a business owner and I finish the year with profit and I want to extract this profit and put it in my pocket. If I leave this profit in the company, I don't have 10%, 5% tax on dividend. I pay only this 10% corporate tax. Salaries of the personnel are considered as expenses, but these people, they also, if they want to come and start to work in Bulgaria, despite of the fact as an employees or freelancers, they also will be taxed with 10% flat tax.
Last question, then we switch back to the legal part. What about actual taxation on crypto gain? So let somebody materialize
10% flat tax on everything. We don't have any exceptions. I mean, we have some profits that are not taxable, of course. We have some favorable texts in our legislation in very specific cases, but in general, we have 10% flat tax.
Okay.
Of course, yeah,
Clear.
every country has some deviations in, how to say, more favorable regime, but the focus is on the 10% flat taxation.
Clear. Thanks a lot. Okay, so obviously we covered the fact that Bulgaria tends to be a fast jurisdiction to approve, and on a scale compared to other jurisdictions, it might be also slightly cheaper. Give us more information. What would be the time frame to set up a company, get regulated, the idea about cost to set up? But more importantly, I mean, we see jurisdiction, you mentioned Cyprus before, even from a tax point of view, but where do you see major advantages compared to Malta, Cyprus, Holland? Those are the jurisdictions that we see a lot of companies setting up shop in.
Firstly, let's start from the foundation, setting up a company. So suppose that you have a business model and you want to launch the company here in Bulgaria. If it is a limited liability company, by law, it will take the commercial register to register the company one day. And we are capable of preparing the documents quite fast also. So in a few days, you're going to have a fully operational limited liability company. Then you apply, suppose, for a CASP license. As I mentioned to you, the Financial Supervision Commission, the new regulator, is already preparing itself quite well for the applications under MiCA. They are talking to the business. They said that they would organize bilateral meetings with those that are interested in getting such a CASP license, which is going to be quite helpful for us, the consultants, to know what they think. They also participated a few times, the regulator, at round tables organized by our university, at which they showed a readiness to talk to the business, to talk to the academia. We're in a constant contact with them. So I believe that our jurisdiction here will be among the fastest one with regards to capabilities to provide the CASP companies with such a license. Another topic which might be of interest to our audience is the issuance of tokens. That's also interesting because since the beginning of this year, we have consulted quite a few projects on matters of this nature. And we are talking about tokenization of rights of artists, of singers, tokenization of assets, tokenization of different one step ahead of a lot of countries in this regard. And the consultants here, I'm talking about not only legal and taxation, but also tokenomics for instance, which is important. The IT guys, we have very strong cybersecurity companies that are based here in Bulgaria. So basically, if you have an idea to issue a token here in Bulgaria, we are ready with the team, basically to secure all the knowledge and experience needed.
Let me stop you for a second. Let's try to dig deeper because you're absolutely right. Setting up a company is interesting when you want to structure maybe an exchange. So you're going to go down the CASP route. But one of the hottest topic at the moment is where to launch a token. So give us the roadmap of what it implies, because setting up the company is definitely the first part. Then I guess they have to come to a lawyer like yourself to get a SAF, the token warrant. But finally, there is the element of making a distinction and analyzing the token. Are we talking about a utility or a security token, right?
Yeah, the nature of the token. Yes, the legal nature of the token. In this, we also have good experience. So we work with the best expert here in tokenomics, who is quite famous, Hristo Piankov, hand in hand. So suppose you have a business model of this kind, you come to us. And in order not to waste time together, I mean the legal team, first me from regulatory point of view and Hristo from the tokenomics point of view, we start working together hand in hand to make sure that all the characteristics of the token that you want the token to have will be, how to say, under the regulatory framework that you prefer. Because sometimes, for instance, you could maybe willing to raise capital, let's say, and then maybe you will be willing to stay outside the framework of MiCA and at the same time to stay outside the framework of the financial instruments, the legal norms that regulate the financial instruments. We have researches also in this regard that have been done hand in hand with Hristo Piankov, and we have found options for the business to do this and to stay outside of these very heavy regulatory frameworks. But even if you, I mean, it's all about designing the business model. So hand in hand together for a few weeks, it will be done. And then the white paper.
Let's talk for a second about the security part, because as everywhere in the world, if you manage to classify it as utility token, is definitely easier to present, to make digest to the regulator. But what is the framework in Bulgaria for a security token? So how does the regulator see security token? How they feel about them? How stringent the regulation is?
Okay, Marco, that's a long topic. I think we will need a podcast that will be dedicated only to this. But in brief, if I can summarize, due to the really the huge efforts of the whole team that you see here, and again the team of Hristo Piankov, we have found a way. So if the token is designed in a way to meet the characteristics of a financial instrument, it is going to stay outside the scope of MiCA. So here we are safe and it's good. You're not going to bother yourself with the requirements there. Then we could design the token in a way, if your token is issued in order for your company to raise capital only for your company, right? Then it's going to be a financial instrument that is going to be regulated by, I mean, in principle, by our law on the markets in financial instruments, but because it's going to be issued only for you to raise capital for your own company, is excluded from the scope of the law. So that's the beauty. I mean, again, I'm describing this in a very non-detailed way at all. It's a science, but we have done quite deep research on this matter, and it's possible here in Bulgaria.
Clear. And passing the ball to Nikolai. So when it comes then to, let's say, creating a CASP in Bulgaria or potentially launching a token, obviously there is the element of the $1 million question. Where are the money coming from? But I assume that from a KYC and AML, it's the framework is pretty much the same as other European country. What can you tell us about that?
Well, the interesting thing of Bulgaria is that life gave us a little bit of lemons, meaning that from the 1st of January, Bulgaria is entering the Eurozone. And because of entering the Eurozone, we are in the gray list of the FATF, which means that history shows us that when entering into the Eurozone, countries are about 1 year in the gray list. which means that our AML and KYC and compliance has really developed in the past year and a half, and all of the authorities, regulators are helping business and in communication with business to improve, to make sure that we are not only compliant, but we are a step ahead of everybody. So we can be sure that in the end of 2026, we're leaving the gray list with our heads high, and to be sure that we're on the right place speaking to AML. And also, everybody knows that related to AML is cybersecurity. I can make sure everybody can check and that all of the big players on the crypto market, meaning I don't know if it's okay to mention any names, but all of the big players have different employees in Bulgaria.
Go for it. We're happy to give a shout. We already gave a shout to Hristo, that is a good friend of Semoto. So feel free to mention names.
I'm speaking a little bit more about companies. We all know the big exchanges, also cyber security companies. All of them have employees from Bulgaria working from distance, because in a lot of international contests, Bulgarian IT specialists have shown their quality. And I can assure everybody that price to quality, Bulgarians are one of the top IT specialists. And
I think, Nikolai, sorry to interrupt you, but it's a great point. You all have touched on that in different aspects, quality and also the capability of the workforce is an important element when you're choosing what country to set up. Pass the ball to Daisy because she raised her hand. I just wanted, Nicola, can you please reconfirm the date in which you will join the European Union and what you expect on the grey listing window to last?
So we are in the European Union, but from the 1st of January 2026, we're entering the Eurozone, meaning that payment for in Bulgaria will be euro, the official currency. And this gives a very big opportunity for all investors, meaning that they are not going to need to convert their investment. They can invest euro, they can invest crypto. Very good signatures, ways to sign documents via internet mini. And because we're entering the Eurozone from the 1st of January, our hopes is that in November 2026, Bulgaria is going to leave the gray list, because the historic data is that this is because of the rules of the FATF and the Euro Commission. Is every country during the transition period where both currencies are applicable, the country to be in the gray list. This means that Bulgaria will have two currencies by June, and by November we're hoping to leave the gray list.
Amazing. Thanks for that. Daisy, please go ahead, but also I'll ask a question to the ladies following up on what Nicola said, that is on this process. Do you see an impact from both tax point of view and regulatory point of view on any changes for a current VASP, somebody that is taking the CASP license? Do you think that they will have to re-register the application, or the process is going to become more stringent? But please, first, Daisy, go ahead. You wanted to mention something.
Thank you, Marco. Yeah, I was just thinking about our discussion from a business point of view and from the perspective of the entrepreneurs, And what is really important for them is also to know about the costs, as you touched upon. Speaking about costs, I would like to mention the state fees that are applicable to the CASP licenses here in Bulgaria. They are very competitive, I would say. So for CASP license class 1, you pay 2,500 euro state fee to get the license. For CASP class 2, you pay 5,000 euro. And for class 3 CASP license, you pay 15,000 euro. And that's all. So now, to your question. From regulatory point of view, from the point of view of the companies that are already running and that's going to be formed here, I see Bulgaria entering the Eurozone as a huge advantage, Because me personally, I have experienced leading negotiations with potential investors in crypto companies that were seeing our current Bulgarian currency as a deal breaker. Suppose you want to invest into a company here in Bulgaria, quite a lot of money, right? And this money normally comes in euro. And then you just need to swallow the loss that you are going to have due to the exchange rate, right? So Bulgaria entering the Eurozone, I see only advantages from the point of view of the companies setting, from the point of view of the new investors. I don't see any problems or obstacles or issues that we need to take into account from the point of view of the licensing procedure under MiCA.
And from a tax point of view, do you see an adjustment on just pressure from the European Union to readjust the level compared to other jurisdictions, or do you think it will stay at the 10%?
I think that we will stay in 10%. There was a pressure from the European Union to enlarge the tax rates. But our government is resisting, and only the small amount of companies which have hyper profits are taxed with a solidary rate. But this is less than 5% of the companies in Bulgaria, statistically. And usually these are company in the energy sector mostly, maybe.
Weapons, maybe too. Yeah. Or producers of weapons. I mean, this kind of.
Yes, also.
Yeah.
According to my knowledge, these are normal businesses. They don't super
Overcharge on taxation.
super profits, so that they are not obligated, because we have a criteria for super profits, and it is very complicated criteria, and very small amount of company usually meet this criteria, which is good, because they are charged with additional 5% tax on the profit. This is the reason why I didn't mention it. But maybe it is good to know that sometimes some companies, if they have super profits, usually they can go into this. In my practice, I don't have any clients which to meet this criteria and to have this tax benefit in quotation.
Yeah. Okay, got it. We reached the 30 minutes mark. We might want to wrap up. So I'll just open the forum to the three of you. So let's summarize what we said. I mean, give us again a reason each why you think that Bulgaria is the place to set up and not other jurisdiction.
In my view, as an expert in regulatory matters, setting up a company here in Bulgaria, it's easy, not costly at all. The CASP licenses are not costly at all. The academy is working hard to speed up the situation here and the whole environment. Our governments have been crypto-friendly in a consistent manner. And the other important thing is the authorities that are engaged in applying the legal norms are talking to the academia on a daily basis and to the business too.
Also, I would say that Bulgaria is a nice market for employees. If you want to structure here a company, usually you have very good access to quality employees with efficient education in the fields, especially if we speak about developers, because Bulgaria is actually one of the countries we are considered as kind of a crypto hub, very crypto friendly destination, mainly because of our institution's point of view, that they see the crypto as the future business development, not as something shady. So in Bulgaria, our community, crypto community, is very strong. We form a very strong crypto hub, and also the Bulgaria's name is known altogether with the UAE, Dubai, also Portuguese, also Turkey, and usually in Europe, Latvia, Litva, Estonia are known as good places to start a crypto business. So yeah, these are the countries, some of them in Europe, and Bulgaria is one of them as preferable crypto-friendly destination. People also prefer Cyprus and Malta because of the low taxes, the possibility to lower your taxes according to a tax credit or IQ boxes or etc. But in Bulgaria, you don't need to make any magics like this because we have flat taxation and actually you benefit from it despite of the type of the form, the place of the company, except if it should be in Bulgaria, if it is dealing with intellectual property or not, etc.
Amazing. Nikolai, one final word?
Yes, and from my point of view, I'll be very short. Bulgaria has a very strong AML and compliance team between both the authorities, business, and the employees. Um, I can make sure that our IT specialists are one of the best. So cybersecurity is very safe in Bulgaria. Let's say an investor wants to invest in Bulgaria, he can have his employees from Bulgaria that are cost friendly, and he can operate his companies from every point of the world, which is everybody's investor's dream.
Amazing. Guys, we're at the end of the podcast, but thank you so much. First of all, come all together. What you're building is incredible. I mean, putting together a team that can cover all the clients at 360. Thanks to the Crypto Academy. Thanks to each one of you. Thanks for all the information about Bulgaria and why people should do business there. Thanks for being on Semoto. And I hope that the audience will get in touch straight away. Thanks.
Thank you. Bye.